So the weekend has come to a close, but we do not end things here. So for today, we're just going to be doing a one review episode only. The reason is this: many of you may not know this, even though I don't talk mostly about my personal life. It was my dad's birthday, so basically, it kind of held me up a bit, and not to mention uploading the last episode that featured, of course, Stardom to the World and AEW Collision. So, recently, New Japan just had their latest show, the Yuji Nagata produced show known as Blue Justice. So, yep, this one features the main event, Yuji Nagata and Hiroshi Tanahashi. So, as you know, these two guys have some long history, as you probably know. So, I can't wait to review from A to Z on this one. And then, as always, we'll be having some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events and promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everybody, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world. Wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. Let's get to it. So this is our only review for today. So let's begin with New Japan with Blue Justice. Okay, New Japan, Yuji Nagata produced Blue Justice number 16. This is their latest show, and this at the hold on, hold on, so right, I think the Togane Arena in Chiba. Now, for those who don't know, this is the home turf of Blue Justice himself, Yuji Nagata. So basically, this also could be the last time that the people of this area will see Hiroshi Tanahashi until his retirement at the start of 2026. Now, we'll get to that match later on, but let's begin with the first one. Now, we have the Young Lions, Jane Zay teaming up with Masatora Yasuda, taking on Tatsuya Matsumoto and Tiger Mask. Now, of course, many of you may think in some capacity, just by me, Tiger Mask has the experience, most likely could pick up the win against the Young Lions. But however, seeing Jane Zay, he is able to adapt to the style. Not to mention, he was able to keep a distance of Tiger Mask away from his tag partner, while, of course, Yasuda was able to apply a Boston Crab on Matsumoto. And just like that, in the instance, Matsumoto had no choice but the tap out giving the win to him and of course to Yasuda, which was very impressive. Now while everybody left, as you all know, Tiger Mask has announced his retirement and it's going to be up soon. So most likely this could be his last appearance as well. So, well, that's how it is, but you know how it's going to be. Now, our next match, we have the House of Losers. Yeah, the House of Torture themselves. Dick Togo, Evil, and Don Fale taking on Katsuya Murashima and Shoma Kato, along with the current Never Openweight champion, Boltin Oleg. Now, for some of you may know this might be a preliminary match. As you probably know, Don Fale has issued the challenge for the Never Openweight title against Boltin Oleg. Since return, he's been targeting him, and now he wants that title. As you know, the House of Losers have been trying to prove their point, saying that they're the ones who run New Japan, despite the fact they failed to take out Tanahashi. But of course, now the obvious thing is this, that the factor is Boltin Oleg is teamed up with Young Lions, most likely the weak links of the whole thing, and that's exactly what happened, because Evil was able to apply a sharpshooter onto Shoma Kato and force him to tap out, giving the win to the House of Losers. Now our next match, we have the Bullet Club War Dogs. We have, of course, Clark Connors teaming up with the newer members of the War Dogs, Yudo Ice, formerly Yudo Mashimoto, and of course Oscar Lobe, taking on Hantai, Takamichi Tomoaki Hamna, and Taichi. Now, for those who may not saw this one from in the finals of the G1, we did see, of course, Yudo Ice and Oscar Lobe made their return to New Japan. Now they're targeting Taichi and the IWGP tag team belts because they felt they haven't defended them, which I honestly would say is true. Yes, we haven't seen them defended, but because of the whole G1, it was unable to do so, and now they're targeting him. And of course, Yudo Ice and Oscar Lobe just pointed their point when they took out Taka Michinoku with the KOB, because as you know, they're called the Knockout Brothers. They just took him out, and then of course it was Yudo Ice who picked up the win. And of course Taichi was not going to stand by and let a couple of punks try to show them who's tough than him, but the numbers game, well, it's just way too much. I'm sure that hopefully Tomo Irishi just returns and helps Taichi to deal with this madness, of course. Our next match, we have the members of the unaffiliated Daiki Nagai, Hiromu Takahashi, Yota Tsuji, and Shingo Tagagi taking on the War Dogs, consistent of Geto, Taiji Shimuri, David Finlay, and Gabe Kidd. Now, for those who don't know, Shingo Tagagi has issued the challenge for the IWGP Global Championship. And of course, Gabe Kidd is not going to allow someone like Shingo to try to prove a point, saying that you're not tough and all that, because we all know that Gabe Kidd is crazy. He's out of his dang mind. However, of course, many of you would think that this match would be won by the War Dogs due to the weakest link in the group, which of course is Daiki Nagai. But luckily, it was of course Hiromu Takahashi that picked up the win when he applied a leg lock onto Geto, and Geto had no choice to tap out. But of course, we did see the tension between Tsuji and Finlay getting in each other's faces, and of course Shingo and Gabe Kidd, that sort of thing. So we're going to see a bunch of things happening with these two. So we'll just have to wait and see when that happens. Now our next match, we have Togi Makabe, Master Wato, Toroyano, and Yo taking on Yuya Uemura, what's his name? Ryusuke Taguchi, Shota Umino, and El Desperado. So recently there has been some interesting factors going around here. There's been, of course, Ryusuke Taguchi and Desperado. Well, Taguchi thought about teaming up with Desperado for a hope for the Never Openweight Championship, but they haven't decided who would join them. And of course, Yo is now aiming for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, which he hasn't won yet, but we're looking forward to that. But in the end, it was Master Wato that pinned his former tag partner Taguchi, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now our next match, we have of course more of the House of Losers, consistent of Doiki, Sho, Yujiro Takahashi, Sonata, Red Narita taking on TMDK, consisting of Hartley Jackson, Rohei Oiwa, Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and of course our current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Zack Sabre Jr. Now, for those who don't know, Zack Sabre Jr. will defend his championship against Red Narita at Destruction in Kobe. Now, of course, Red Narita, as you know, he defeated Zack Sabre Jr. at the G1. So I had a feeling that this creep is going to try to cash in his opportunity because, of course, the House of Losers are trying to prove their point, saying, hey, assholes, we're the ones who run the shit. So those titles belong to us. You guys are a bunch of losers. You're not tough. Well, the only reason they're saying that is because they cheat. They use weapons. They help each other out. That's what makes them losers, because they hide behind their weapons. They have friends to help them. But, of course, as always, we will see tactics coming from House of Torture, as always. They even use weapons on Harley Jackson, and then, of course, Sonata finished them off by a moonsault, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. Now, I highly doubt, of course, once we get to Destruction in Kobe, that Red Narita is going to walk away with the win, because we know House of Torture will ensure that belt goes directly to them. But I have a feeling it's not going to go their way, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, the match we've been waiting for, of course, the man who's producing the show, Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata taking on the Ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, of course, I mentioned this. This is probably the last time that in this location, Tanahashi will be there. Now, some of you probably question how this is going to go. Well, I can tell you this. People were behind Yuji Nagata because, like I said, this is his home turf, his home. He has the home field advantage. So you would think that this will be it. You know, that Nagata will finally get his opportunity to beat Yuji Tanahashi before he retires. Well, Tanahashi is very resilient. I mean, we know the guy's body has been deteriorating for months, you know, or maybe years. Who knows how long he's been feeling, but yes. But in the end, it was Tanahashi that walked away with the win when he applied the high five flow. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. And of course, Tanahashi decided to give a post-match promo talking to, of course, Nagata, who they known for many years. But presenting the flowers to Tanahashi was none other than Nagata's son, Nagata Jr., as they call him. And of course, it was a great moment. But like I said, this is Tanahashi's last time being in this venue, and I'm sure everybody's going to miss him as a wrestler. But we'll see how things will go as we get to his retirement match on January 2026. So as of right now, we are officially done with this. Let's move on with our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So let's begin. We only have one update when it comes to an upcoming event. Now, if anybody is big fans of the GCW Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, well, you're in luck. They'll be doing another event, and this time it's going to be across the Atlantic in London, UK. And of course, it's going to happen on the 28th of September at the Electric Ballroom. Now, 3 names have been mentioned to participate. We have, of course, the man who started it all, Josh Barnett. He announced 2 other names involving Chris Bungaro and Ollie Thompson. From my understanding, these guys were UFC fighters, from what I can hear. So if you guys are any big fans of the Bloodsport stuff, well, this is your luck to check it out. Now, on to some interesting developments. Now, those who are big fans of the Japanese wrestling scene, but if you guys watch All Japan Pro Wrestling, you guys are always on the right channel. But sadly, it was announced that one of their young boys, named Taishin Nagao, passed away. According to what happened, the guy was only 21 years old, very young. You know, he hasn't got to explore his wrestling career yet. And of course, he died of a collision on a tour bus. They did not specify exactly where or when it happened, but it's sad, of course. Harley Jackson, someone who has wrestled in All Japan, said he's going to do a tribute in his memory. And, you know, that's the kind of wrestlers they are. So I'm glad to hear he's doing something like that. So, yeah. Now, moving on. Many of you may have saw that Omos made his debut in AAA and Triple Mania. Well, it's just been foretold that he's been rebranded as a AAA superstar. So basically, he'll be making appearances in AAA. Now, of course, I don't know how you guys would feel, but if you guys are okay with that, I'm okay with it too. Now, finally, this one is our last update on our developments. Now, if you guys are big fans of the Yoshi wrestling scene, you guys, or just specifically wrestlers, well, sadly, it was announced Haruna Neko has announced her graduation and retirement from pro wrestling. Now, some of you may question, why is she announcing her retirement? Well, as you probably know, when it comes to Japanese wrestlers, some of them are concerned about long-term health, most specifically injuries. Now, let me take you back. As you all know, Hikaru Shimizu retired due to her concern for long-term health. What was it? A year or two ago, she was injured, and she was concerned for that. So she made the decision to retire because of it. Haruna Neko's situation is this: in back in 2023, she was injured, and then of course she re-injured that same injury this past May. So this led to her decision to retire, which of course is unfortunate, but you got to take care of your health first, is always be a #1 priority. Now, as for her graduation ceremony, it will be at the Shinkiba First Ring, which ironically is the same venue where, of course, she made her debut. And it's going to take place on the 27th of September. And they did announce that paper streamers will be allowed on during the event for her. But they also announced that her final meet and greet will be on that day. It's still unclear what she's going to do next after she retires. I mean, like some of you may remember, I mentioned Hikaru Shimizu. She works in an ice shaving and a sweet baked potato shop. So I don't know what she's going to do next, but I can't wait to hear what she's going to do. So as of right now, that's pretty much it what we have. So since right now, let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Before I proceed to the next thing, I want to say I'm sorry that I was only able to do a one review episode. As I said earlier, the thing is, it was my dad's birthday. So, like I said, I don't normally talk about, of course, my personal life. But because of that, it kind of changed it. Not to mention, I had to upload the much recent video with, of course, that. So that took a bit of my time, and it's no one's fault but my own, because I kind of didn't calculate my timing. But if you guys want to leave a happy birthday comment for my dad, he doesn't normally watch this, but he probably would appreciate the comments. But as for our next episode, I haven't decided yet. Now, as I mentioned in the past, I'm going to try to catch up with every Yoshi promotion event as possible. So we'll see how things would progress from there. And I'm considering maybe doing an episode all about Oz Academy. They had just recently did some show. I think their shows might date back all the way to May or so, but we'll see. But as of right now, it's still undecided. So we'll see. So until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.